A boy and a bear share an amazing life together. It was an ordinary day in the woods, when a young woman named Emma went for a walk with her 2 dogs. She had no idea that this day would change her life forever. As she strolled through the trees, one of her dogs suddenly stopped and started barking ferociously at a nearby log. At first, Emma thought it was just a squirrel or something, but when she got closer, she realized it was a baby bear. The little creature was all alone and scared, and Emma knew she couldn't just leave him there. Despite being a bit apprehensive, she carefully approached the cub and managed to coax him out from under the log. It was then that Emma noticed the disturbing sight of blood coming from the bear's mouth. His gums were badly injured and his tongue was swollen. Emma felt a pang of sympathy for the poor animal and knew that she needed to do something to help him. Gently she picked up the cub and carried him back to her car. Throughout the journey, she kept talking to him in a soothing voice to calm him down. Once in the car, she wrapped him in a blanket and drove him to the vet. At the vet clinic, they discovered that the bear had been poisoned by eating some rotten meat. After administering first aid, the vet sent them to a wildlife rescue center where professionals could take care of him. For a few weeks, Emma kept in touch with the rescue center and eagerly awaited news of the bear's recovery. Finally, the day came when he was well enough to be released back into the wild. However, before letting him go, the workers at the rescue center decided to teach him some valuable survival skills. They showed him how to catch fish, look for berries, and most importantly, avoid humans. All of these lessons were crucial for the bear's future. However, what Emma didn't realize was that one of the people who had seen her with the bear was a hunter, and now he was looking for the exact same bear in the forest. Meanwhile, the bear, whom everyone called Lucky, had learned all the necessary survival skills and was finally ready to be released. On the day of his release, Emma and the people from the rescue center returned to the spot where they had found him. After saying their goodbyes, Emma watched as Lucky disappeared into the woods. She hoped that he would live a long and happy life in the forest. Many months had passed since Emma saved Lucky's life, and she had almost forgotten about him until one day when her dog started behaving strangely. As Emma followed her dog's gaze, she saw the most unexpected creature. It was none other than Lucky, who had returned to the place where Emma had first found him. Now much larger than before, Lucky was standing on his hind legs and using his paws to knock on Emma's window. But why had he come back? What did he want from Emma? Surprised and curious, Emma opened the window and asked Lucky if he wanted her to get him something. In response, Lucky simply nodded his head vigorously, indicating that he did indeed have something in mind. Every day after that, at around the same time, Lucky would visit Emma's house and ask for treats. He would stand patiently by the window until Emma gave him what he wanted. Over time, their friendship grew stronger, and Emma started spending more and more time with Lucky. One evening, Emma's friend jokingly suggested that instead of going to the store for Lucky every day, it would be easier to just keep him at home. Although initially surprised, Emma couldn't help but think that it might be a good idea. She had plenty of space in her house, and taking care of Lucky had become a daily routine for her. So why not make it official? The next day, Emma called the Wildlife Rescue Center to ask if she could keep Lucky as her pet. Much to her delight, they agreed. From that day on, Lucky officially became part of Emma's family. He would accompany her on walks, play with her dogs, and even sleep in her bed. Life had taken an unexpected turn for both Emma and Lucky, but it seemed to be working out just fine for them. However, one afternoon, while Emma was at work, Lucky suddenly became very ill. Unable to take care of him properly on her own, Emma rushed Lucky to the nearest vet. The vet examined Lucky and told Emma that he was suffering from a rare bacterial infection. There was only a 5% chance that he would survive. Desperate to save Lucky, Emma agreed to any treatment the vet recommended. She stayed by Lucky's side throughout the night, hoping for a miracle. In the morning, the vet came back with the test results and delivered some good news. Lucky's condition was stable and there was hope for recovery. Relieved and overjoyed, Emma continued to spend all her free time at the vet clinic with Lucky, until he was well enough to return home. After recovering from the illness, Lucky seemed even happier than before. He loved playing with Emma's dogs and going for walks in the forest. One day during a walk, Lucky suddenly ran away from Emma and hid behind a tree. At first, Emma thought he might be playing a trick on her, but then she heard some strange sounds. Curious, she followed the noise and found Lucky standing next to a hollow log. To her surprise, he was meowing loudly. Confused, Emma cautiously approached the log and poked it gently. Suddenly, a small head popped out, revealing a tiny kitten. Startled, Emma stepped back and Lucky immediately started growling fiercely. Emma soon realized that Lucky had actually saved the kitten's life by bringing her to her. Grateful for his quick thinking, she scooped up both the kitten and Lucky and brought them home. Once inside, Emma put the kitten in a cardboard box and placed it next to Lucky. From that moment on, the two became inseparable. Emma named the kitten Luna and enjoyed watching them play together. Their bond was truly special. One day, however, tragedy struck. When Emma returned home from a trip to the store, she found Luna lying on the floor and Lucky whimpering beside her. Despite rushing her to the vet, there was nothing that could be done. Luna had passed away. Heartbroken, Emma comforted Lucky, who was also grieving the loss of his friend. In the following days, Emma noticed that Lucky's behavior changed. He became increasingly aggressive and hardly ate anything. Worried about his health, she called the vet, who advised her to take Lucky on a trip to the lake to see if the change of scenery would improve his mood. Upon arriving at the lake, Emma let Lucky off his leash, hoping he would enjoy the freedom. But instead of relaxing, he started running frantically around the lake, occasionally stopping to bark and growl. Emma was concerned and tried to call him back, but Lucky didn't seem to hear her. As she walked along the lake, Emma spotted some people standing by their cars, pointing at something. When she inquired about what had happened, they informed her that someone had found a dead deer near the lake and the local hunter had come to collect it. Suddenly, everything clicked in Emma's mind. She realized that the hunter had tracked down Lucky and intended to capture or kill him. Determined to protect her beloved bear, Emma quickly took action. She grabbed a stick and ran towards the sound of gunshots. The hunter, startled by Emma's sudden appearance, dropped his rifle. Taking advantage of the distraction, Emma swiftly picked up the rifle and handed it over to the police officers who had arrived at the scene. With the help of the police, Emma led the hunter back to her car and confronted him. Angry and upset, she accused him of trying to hurt Lucky, to which the hunter replied that he had only meant to scare the bear away. Emma refused to believe him and insisted that the bear had done nothing wrong. As the situation escalated, the police officers intervened and arrested the hunter for illegally carrying a firearm and attempting to harm protected wildlife. From that day on, Lucky and Emma continued to live happily together. Their strong bond had only grown stronger after facing the threat posed by the hunter. In fact, Lucky had become a local celebrity and often accompanied Emma on various TV shows and public appearances. Despite their busy schedule, they still found time for walks in the forest, during which Lucky never strayed far from Emma's side. Together, they had built an unbreakable bond of friendship and love.